Earth Wars, Chapter 7, Return of the Obi-Wan. During the Clinton War in America in the mid-90s, Obi-Wan Coyote led his band of rebel listeners to defeat gun control in the free and independent state of Florida. While serving the people of Boston, Obi-Wan Coyote was snatched from the airwaves by the Clintonian Empire and has been in seclusion until Princess Pelosi and Hussein the Drain took over the Imperial Senate and came to power, while the economy was tanking from the Fannie and Freddie trillion-dollar theft. Hussein the Drain and the Princess Pelosi have captured the Tidy Bowl Man and his ship and are planning to sink the entire economic system of the planet Earth.
Good morning and welcome to another adventure into podcast radio. I am your host, the former evil radio talk show host, Mike Wiley, now evil podcast host. I am a bit under the weather. I was attacked Friday night with the evil stomach flu, and it stays around for a couple of days, and then you start feeling crummy everywhere else, and I was starting to feel a little bit better, and I thought, I got to get this show done because the stuff I wanted to do last week, I'm way ahead of the game on this stuff, people. And I think I figured out why, because I watch news more than you do. I watch for everything. I listen for everything. Now, unfortunately, I may not be able to show you clips of what I'm talking about today because there's a technical glitch with a software that I was using, and I got the upgrade for it, and now my computer won't let me upgrade it or put it in because there's something about this and that. I don't know. All I know is, and I'm telling you right now, AI is screwing the country right now. It's in your computer, it's everywhere, and it's telling you what it wants to do, not what you want to do. And I'm really pissed off about it, and I'm a rebel. So that's a battle. I wasn't planning to fight, but I'm in the middle of fighting it. Okay, and I'm dealing with MicroSuck, which believes that it's okay to have customers call you with a problem and they answer back 14 hours later at 3 in the morning thinking they're awake. I guess the people in Seattle aren't taught how to read a clock or know time zones. Anyways, I probably got about a half an hour of energy in me, and then it's just going to go. So let's get to this. First of all, I've shown you this before. This is the three-state solution, okay? This is how it's going to end up. I'm telling you right now, this is how it's going to end up. Israel is going to end up being Israel, and Jordan and Palestine will end up being Jordan-Palestine as it was established in 1924 with the League of Nations Treaty, which legalized everything and set everything up. The only problem is there's two criminal scumbag countries that sometimes have scumbag leaders who try to pull shit. And right now, you may guess it, it's France and England. Why are they involved? Because their ancestry screwed this whole system up. Okay? France and England decided they were going to screw around with Israel and give Golan Heights to Syria, which was being controlled by France at the time. England and France took over the Middle East after World War I. But I'm telling you, this is how it's going to end up. How do I know? Bibi Netanyahu already said there would be no Palestinian state west of the Jordan River. What's that mean? It means this is what we're looking at. Everybody seems to forget what people are saying, okay? We have a couple of scumbags from from Gaza, the Hamas screwjobbers, which, by the way, does Hamas kind of look like any kind of, or act like any kind of political party we have in this country? Huh? The ones that smile in your face and all the time they want to take your place, the backstabbers. Yeah, Hamas. So there was a Hamas leader, and he said the other day that they're looking forward to the peace finalization and giving back the hostages. They said nothing about giving up Gaza. But he did say that he looks forward to a Palestinian state with Jerusalem as its capital. How does that work? I mean, Jerusalem is here and Gaza is here. How does that work out? Are they planning on making all of Israel part of Gaza or something? Huh? And then we had that piece of garbage Abbas, the 20-year criminal terrorist who I think is working a deal to get promised a condo overlooking the Mediterranean after the Saudis and the Americans and everybody rebuilds Gaza to a certain point, if they actually get this done. Okay? Because Abbas came out and said, hey, he's looking forward to a Palestinian state with Jerusalem as its capital. Okay, there we have it. You got this asshole over here and this asshole over here saying the same thing. But they're two separate criminal entities involved with Hamas. They must be communicating. There must be a plan. And the plan comes from a place called Qatar. And they want to put an Air Force base in the United States? No, I don't think so. I love Donald Trump. I know what he's doing. But sometimes Donald Trump likes to smooth the edges instead of being precise on things, figuring that he'll work it out later. And we got some issues. So I got to go through a couple of these things, and then I'm going to sign off because, like I said, I'm feeling the effects. My flu is a stomach flu. And I'm telling you, it put me through hell for Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday. Started feeling better a little Monday, and today's Tuesday, and I was feeling a little better for just a little bit, and then... So let me give you some facts, and then I'm going to point some things out to you so you know what's going on. First of all, if you don't know, Xi Jinping is done in China, okay? There's this Chinese woman, I'm trying to get a hold of her. She evidently has contacts in China, and she pointed out some things about Xi and these medical situations. He's having strokes he's having, and he was supposed to go to Korea. He's supposed to meet with Trump in South Korea for the Pacific Alliance, and that doesn't seem to be happening because China canceled his reservations. So we don't know what's going on with China, but I got an idea of what's going on. I have an idea what's going on, and I'm going to hit you with it, okay? First of all, wars and other conflicts. This is wars involving Israel, okay? The first one was 1948, the Arab-Israeli War. Why was there a war? Because Israel announced its independence and that it was going to be called Israel instead of Jewish Palestine. You see, there's two Palestines. There's a Jewish Palestine and an Arab Palestine established in 1924, but some people are forgetting it, okay? Israel attack was by Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria. And for some reason, with the help of God, the Israelis held on to defeat them. Then there was the 1950s, the 60s. There was the Palestinian Fedayeen insurgency, Palestinian tax and reprisal operations carried out by the Israeli Defense Forces during the 1950s and 60s. These actions were in response to constant Fedayeen incursions during which Arab guerrillas infiltrated from Syria, Egypt, and Jordan into Israel. So in other words, there was peace in 1949, but then there was war again in 50s through 60s. Then there was the Suez Canal thing. That was Britain, France, and Israel. They wanted to take over the Sinai Peninsula because take over the Suez Canal because the Egyptian president was not letting ships go through. The United States called them up and said, hey, you got to stop this crap. But France and Israel believed that they needed Israel to help them get through it, and they did. Then you had the Six-Day War in 1967. I remember that clearly because I was in 9th grade at the time, and our history teacher came right out first thing in the morning. Damn, 6-day war. Here's what's going on. There's a war between Israel and their Arab neighbors, Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Algeria. Holy shit, there was a whole bunch of them, huh? And what happened was Israel took back the West Bank, including East Jerusalem, and they say they took it back from Jordan, but actually it was never Jordan's to begin with. You see, in 1924, Judea and Samaria, which Jordan calls the West Bank, was Israel, but that's what the war in 48 was for, to take territories back and get rid of the Jews, which didn't work. Okay, let me just take a hint here. I think God's wants Israel to be safe. Okay, and I believe that God went like this in July 13th of 2024 when someone tried to assassinate Donald Trump, and it didn't work. Okay, God saved Donald Trump for a reason, and we just have been watching it. Now, Trump is no dumbbell. Trump is a businessman that thinks of everything. He knows what's going on. He knows who his true friends are and who his allies are. Remember the old saying, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer? Huh? Get it? So Trump's worked this great deal out. It's not going to last. Matter of fact, it already has ended. Okay, but we knew it was going to end. That's why I was going to do the show a couple of days ago before all this happened, just to let you know what was going to happen based on what I see. Okay, because I don't know. I'm a bit of a mental midget. I kind of take what people say as being what they believe they're going to do. Sorry, I need some coffee this morning. And I'm draining energy real quick. That's how you can tell it's the flu. The flu drains your energy. It attacks parts of your body. And then there's the special forces of flu that go fight where the power is. Okay, so then we had the War of Attrition, the Yom Kippur War in 73, the Palestinian insurgency in South Lebanon, 71 to 82. That was 11 years. Then there was the Lebanon War in 82 to end that shit. Then we had South Lebanon conflict again. First Intifada, Second Intifada, Israel-Hezbollah war, Gaza war, Gaza war, Gaza war. Wow. Gaza war, 2008 to 2009. Gaza war, 2012. Gaza war, 2014. Then there was the Syrian civil war. Then there was the 2020 Israel-Palestine crisis, or Operation Guardian of the Walls. Then there was the Gaza war, or Operation Iron Swords, on October 23rd after Hamas attacked and killed over 1,200 people, murdered them, and began this war, which is not over yet. If you think the war is over yet, then look at this list of wars. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 wars in 77 years? 18 wars in 77 years. You think there's going to be another one? Huh? Place your bets. Of course there's going to be another one. We already know there's going to be another one because Hamas is already full of shit. They're already shooting people in the streets. They're already trying to get rid of they're trying to take back Gaza. You see, that's what they're going to do. That's what they think is going to go on. Okay? This deal that Trump has made is historic, but there's some issues. Okay? I'm not going to get into the Nobel Peace Prize thing as I was going to. We all know that in 2009, Barack Obama took a shit in a toilet and he got a Nobel Peace Prize. That's all I need to say. Okay. Now, the people that determined the Nobel Peace Prize, they decided to give it to Venezuela's Maria Corina Machado for keeping the flame of democracy burning. Oh, the flame of democracy is burning, but so are the Venezuelan people. Thanks for trying, but you haven't gotten a damn thing done yet, have you? It's all right, Barack Obama didn't get a damn thing done except help destroy the United States, and that's why he got his award. Okay? Plain and simple. The award's a joke. The award is a joke. Now, let me just go through this other stuff. Trump will probably get the award in 2006, but I'm not going to hold my breath because I know the world is filled with scumbags. Global Marxist, socialist, communist scumbags. Like this person here. Francesca Albanese. She's an anti-Semite scumbag bitch working for the human rights. She's an Italian legal scholar and expert on human rights who has served as the United Nations Special Rapporteur on the occupied Palestinian states. She's a piece of shit. Plain and simple. It's the easiest way to do it, okay? Critics of Albanese have accused her of anti-Semitism and anti-Israel bias. Really? What a coincidence. Several human rights groups and numerous scholars of anti-Semitism have said the accusations are illegitimate attempts to discredit her. Oh, really? The truth's the truth. She's a piece of shit. She's always going to be a piece of shit because people like that don't change. People like that don't change. There's two kinds of people on the planet Earth. Good and evil. And good has to always remember that while they're sleeping at night, evil's crawling up the roof, getting ready to come in the window and slash your tires and slash your throat. That's the way it is. It's just the way it is. There's nothing you can say about it. Okay, what's really going on in the Middle East? Where was India? And why were they not in Egypt? Anybody know? Well, India's having some issues with the United States and tariffs. India needs oil, and they've been buying it from the Russians, which the United States doesn't like. And, of course, China's been buying oil from Russia via Iran. I'm going to make this prediction. Listen to me. I know. I see it. I figure it out. China is preparing to change its whole attitude to the world. And China is going to reinvent itself once again. They've done it before. There's periods of times where, like, every 30 years they go, oh, this communism sucks. Everybody's dying. Let's change it. Let's make it a little bit better. Let's be more helpful so we can get more corporate business and into China. Because China's sucking wind right now. They really are. But India's tight with China, and there's reasons for that. But there's also a reason why India was not in Egypt, sitting next to Pakistan, sitting next to Turkey, because India is not an ally of Israel. It's their adopted cousin. India and Israel are tight like this. And it started in 1991, I believe, when Pakistan was going to war against India, and India didn't have a strong military, they didn't have any military equipment, nobody wanted to help them. No, we're not getting involved. The Israelis got involved, and Israel saved India. And that one action put these two countries together in a bond that's above treaties. And that's not going to change. And India and Israel and Crete and Cyprus and Greece have all been preparing for this monster that's going to come out of Turkey, because Turkey's making their move, and they're going to try to make their move during peace. Remember, enemies fight at war. Scumbags fight when you're not looking. Now, when did you first learn that Hamas was not leaving? When I heard Abbas say that he looks forward to a Palestinian state with Jerusalem as the capital, that's not going to happen. And then to hear the Hamas designated scumbag in charge said the exact same thing. Okay, so they said the exact same thing. What does that mean? It's coordinated statement. The Saudi minister then goes on to say that they want Israel now has to return the West Bank. Now, it's not being returned. Let me tell you right now, okay? Here's the deal. The West Bank is not the West Bank, okay? And Gaza is not Palestine. Arab Palestine was created east of the Jordan River in 1924. The map clearly shows it as Arab Palestine, and on the left, Jewish Palestine. But King Jordan and his wealthy family, the rich bastards that they are, you know, he's an ally of the United States because he's wealthy and he wants to make sure that the good guys think he's on their side. I wouldn't trust this guy as long as I can throw him. Sorry. Yes, his military was there in coordination with the United States, and of course the United States do have some facilities in Jordan that help shoot down missiles when the attack on Israel. I understand that. But why don't they want Palestinians to live in Palestine? Can somebody answer that question? Why can't Palestinians live in Palestine, which is east of the river? You have all these half-wit lunatics, like a couple of Hamas congressional people, like Tlaib. From the river to the sea, from the river to the sea. Well, it's actually from the river to Iraq, you dumbasses. Why don't you want your real country? Why aren't you fighting for what is really yours? Chicken shits. Sorry, I've had enough and I haven't been feeling good, so it's coming out. You know, I get like this. Especially when I have the Maccabee shirt on. Right? Maccabee? Yeah, Maccabee shirt. Here it is. Maccabee. Yeah. Maccabees invented revolution, guerrilla warfare. And we actually celebrate it every year. You know, a lot of people don't know that. It's called Hanukkah. Okay, Saudi minister wants the West Bank back. You're not getting it. You're not getting it back. Stop it. Why have the Iranian people not been saved from the Ayatollah? What's going on? What's going on in Iran? Hey, you know, we have this guy named Patrick Bet-David, intelligent guy, successful Iranian American, came to the United States. He's actually been in the U.S. military. Why isn't he leading a force of professionals that help save his country, his original country of Iran, where his ancestors came from? You know, if you were watching Trump at the Knesset, the Knesset leader, I think he's the president of the country, he stated that Donald Trump historically is like Cyrus of Persia. And you see, Iran really is not Iran, it's Persia. And it's not a Muslim state, it's a Persian state. And the Persians need to be set free. Who on this planet will help them? I know there's a group of guys in the United States who have fought many wars, and they don't like fighting wars, but you know what? It's in their blood, and they're the kind of warriors for God, if you think about it. God sends them in to help people who need help. You think help just comes by itself? No, God watches. Believe me, I know. Japan was in Egypt. What are the Japanese doing in Egypt? Well, Japan was representing the India, Japan, U.S., Australian Defense Pact. The Pacific Defense Pact that includes India, Japan, the United States, and Australia. I know because I watched it on TV. They had meetings with Marco Rubio. You can go up online and pull the videos. There it is. India is a strong ally of the United States. It's just not spoken of all the time, but it exists. You have to understand what exists. And what exists is there's an alliance with India, Israel, Crete, and Greece because they fear that Turkey's going to come out and try to take over and destroy the Kurds, who are our allies. And Syria is up for grabs because the guy running it, we don't know what's going on with him. But if he's thinking about making peace with Israel and working out a deal, there may be Hamasites that don't like that. Netanyahu has already stated there will be no Palestinian state west of the Jordan. Okay, that's it. That's ballgame. So what's going on? Israel knows all about Hamas. They know what scumbags they are, and they know that they're going to have to be killed and destroyed. That's the only way you get rid of, when you have bugs in your house and you see them crawling around trying to eat food and shit and whatever, you got to kill them. Otherwise, they stay around and they grow. Next thing you know, they've got the remote control in their hands and they're changing TV stations on you. Remember, I used to be a radio talk show host, so I have to be entertaining or else I shrivel up and die. Hamas not giving up guns and they're killing Palestinians. These guys didn't wait too long, did they? They're starting to kill people in the streets. They're trying to say, hey, we're staying here. Okay? 30 days. Hamas has 30 days to stop this shit. I'm telling you right now. Hamas has 30 days to stop this shit. Okay? And if Iraq and Iran and Saudi Arabia and Qatar and UAE and all of them and Turkey can't get Hamas to stop and get the hell out, Israel will fix it. Why? Because it's important for Israel. What is in Gaza that's so important? They don't have oil. Of course, they do have this great, oceanside property or seaside property with beaches and possible hotels and stuff. And they have a 2 million person employment center. People who want to work for a living and make money and feed their children and live in peace and freedom. It's there. And I've done a show for you where I showed you some Palestinian leaders that are Jordanians, and they were saying, hey, Israel is our friend, not Jordan, and not this and not that, because the Palestinians have been kicked around and kicked around and kicked around. And let's not forget, Israel is going to build the canal, the Ben Gurion Canal, and it's going up the Red Sea, and it's crossing over through Gaza. And we know exactly where it's going to go. It's just going to be going north of Egypt. And Egypt's not going to like that because it's going to take away business from their Suez Canal, which has issues. Egypt has issues. So, I think you understand now what's going on. So when you watch what's going on, just keep in mind what the truth is. And the truth is what makes sense. 2 and 2 is 4. That's the truth. 2 and 1 doesn't make 4. 2 and 7 doesn't make 4. 2 and 2 makes 4. There are things in this universe that are universal truths. God is one of them. I know. He's only saved my life 3 times. 3 times. The first time in 2012. No, actually, the first time was in 2001. Oh my God. I don't tell that story because you'd think I was nuts, but the woman I was going to marry was in the car too, and she saw what happened. So there's only one way that car was not smashed and ended up in the parking lot safe. Somebody made 5 seconds on the planet Earth disappear for 5 minutes while Mikey and his future wife made it to the other side. And that's the name of that tune. And then there was my 2012 Mike's Gonna Die. They called up my kids and said, you need to come out here to Vegas. Your father's going to have open heart surgery, but we don't think he's going to make it. It's on an aortic aneurysm. Okay. And I guess God wanted to make sure I survived, so he sent an Islamic thoracic surgeon from Pakistan to go to Israel, to go to Las Vegas and save my life. God sends Muslims to the America to save a Jewish guy's life. And maybe you'll understand that there are Muslims in this country that have lived here for years and have never caused any trouble. A lot of them are in Florida. I remember I haven't lived in Florida since like 1990, on and off. And I remember living up in Jacksonville, and I remember seeing the Islamic temples and people coming out after prayer and everything, and there were no problems. There were no crimes. There were no murders. There was nothing. Because Islam is a religion of peace. It's the scumbags who have the problem and create the problem. America is a land of freedom-loving people. But we do have our scumbags. We do have our terrorists. We do have our Islamist terrorists. I did a show where the woman explained the difference between Islamist and Islamic. Islamists are not religious. They're, I guess, theocratic, mental degenerates in control of everybody else's life. You know, like Hamas. Hamas is out there shooting, these brave Hamas people are out there shooting innocent people, unarmed people. Boy, are they really something, huh? Let me tell you, if you shoot unarmed innocent people, you're going to die. Because the guy upstairs is watching. And you're not out of the woods. And you're not going to be out of the woods. You people need to go away. You want to go somewhere? Go to England. They love having terrorists live there. Matter of fact, I had the joy of watching this black woman in the Parliament, the British Parliament, stand up and tear the shit out of Starmer with truth. Zoo! Truth is so powerful when you use it and people get to see it. She nailed his ass. He's sitting there going, hey, like he was in Sharm el-Sheikh yesterday, when he realized he was relegated to the back because he's useless, and we know that Farage is going to win, and England's going to return to be our real ally. Right now, we don't know who England is, but I have a close tie to England. It's called Manchester United. I've been a Manchester United fan since 1975, and I actually have British ancestry. My father's mother came from England, and her mother came from England. And that line of the family came from England. My father's dad family came from Germany, and my mother's dad came from Russia. So I have Russian, English, and German ancestry in my blood, okay? I'm an American mutt like all of us, and that's what makes us great. Once we realize we're all mutts, we're all mixtures, but we're all free. And we all fight for freedom. And that's why the Democrats hate this country. If Democrats hated this country, do you think they would have shut down the government? Oh, we're gonna have this all kings thing. Oh, and we gotta be there for that. And we wanna be able to say, yeah, we shut the government down. All kings thing. What is that? Is that one of those Obama piece of shit programs that he established in 2016? Well, yeah. You're right, Mike. He did do that in 2016. He, once he realized that Hillary the stooge wasn't going to be elected president and Trump had won the election, he went ahead and said, you know what? You. He took 4 lawyers out of his White House counsel group and said, look, leave, start up an organization around the street in Washington, D.C., and call it Protect Democracy. And I want you guys to begin to work on the destruction of Donald Trump and anything he's available to fix. Why would a former president of the United States try to destroy America and prevent America from being productive and lives being good for the American people? Why would Barack Obama act like that? Why, he's an American. Well, actually, no, he's not an American. He's a Kenyan. And that's why they hide that shit from us. Oh, he was born in Hawaii. Yeah, here it is. No, don't look at that Kenyan birth certificate with his footprint and everything. No, that looks too realistic. Let's not show that. Let's come up with this made-up birth certificate. We're still putting up with that shit. And we're putting up with that shit because the American people aren't paying close attention to their government and what their government's doing. Okay, I think we finally have a Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, who may not be as powerful as you would like him to be, but he's an attorney. And you can tell by the way he acts. He's used to taking and tearing people to shreds in court, throwing them away. Well, that's what he's doing. And right now, Chuck Schumer is panhandling in the Bronx trying to get money for his campaign against the stupid bartender bitch who some people think could be president one day. Boom! That's when we all put the gun to our heads and go, goodbye! All right, I've said my piece. It felt good. I felt good getting it out. Spewing the truth to you. Ooh, wow, and I've only been doing this for like 37 minutes. Good! Because I'm trying to keep the shows shorter. But I got to nail the points. And I have to do it my way. I can't just, I turn on the TV and I go through YouTube and I see these podcast guys. Oh, we're going to do this. And you blow your brains out because the guy's driving you nuts. None of these, I wouldn't say none of them. Some of the people, there's this one woman, Wendy Bell, and she's pretty good. And the reason why she's pretty good because she's a radio person. You see, we radio people understand theater of the mind because that's how we're trained. Because people aren't watching us. Now, I know you watch me and you go, Mike, you're a lunatic. You make all those funny voices. Yeah, but when I'm on radio, people think it's somebody else. Because I do a whole bunch of voices. It's entertainment, okay? You want me to go like this? Hi, my name's Mike Wiley, and today we're going to review this, and we're going to talk about Francisco Albanese, and then we're going to go here, and you're just going to love it. So let's go to commercial break while I blow my brains. Can't be done. I can't do it. I'm insane. I don't care. I love you.